माननीय स्पीकर महोदया पधार रही हैं।
Member of this House, I welcome you all. Member of this Parliament, please ask for oath or affirmation. Secretary General, please.
Sri Naman Kumar Mondal, who elected from the Pali constituency of Rajasthan, will now take the oath or affirmation. Sir, what do you want to take? Oath or affirmation?
Oath, please.
In which language would you like to take? Hindi or English?
Sorry, in Hindi, please. मैं नमन कुमार मंडल मैं शपथ लेता हूँ कि मैं अब भारत के संविधान के प्रति श्रद्धावान एवं सच्ची निष्ठा रखूँगा जो विधि द्वारा स्थापित है तथा भारत की सार्वभौमिकता तथा सत्यनिष्ठा बनाए रखूँगा तथा अपने कार्यालय के कार्य निष्ठापूर्वक एवं ईमानदारी तथा बिना भेदभाव के रखूँगा। धन्यवाद।
Honorable members, I refer profound sorrow to passing away of Miss Lata Mangeshkar, the legendary playback singer and a former member of this House. On 16th February 2022, at the age of 19, she passed away. She was born in a family of musicians in September 1929 at Indore, Madhya Pradesh. Lataji took to singing at a very young age, followed by her father. Since then, there was no looking back, and the chain of events that began back that culminated with her acquiring a status of legend in the world of music.
Ma'am, I rise to pay my tributes to Lata Mangeshkar ji, the legendary singer, Bharat Ratna. Lata Mangeshkar ji passed away at Breach Candy Hospital, Mumbai on 16th February 2022. The veteran singer popularly known as the Nightingale of India, the Melody Queen, she was 92 years old and she had been admitted to the Breach Candy Hospital on 8 January after tested positive for COVID-19. May her soul rest in peace.
Ma'am, I associate myself with the tributes paid by you and the leader of the house. Lata Mangeshkar was born on September 28, 1929 to a Marathi and Konkani musician Pandit Dinanath Mangeshkar, originally named Hema. She was the eldest of 5 siblings, including veteran singers Asa Bhosle. Her father, Pandit Dinanath Mangeshkar, was a classical singer and a theatre actor. Lata Mangeshkar, widely considered to have been one of the greatest and most influential singers in India. Her contributes to the Indian music industry in a career spanning 8 decades gained honorific titles such as the Queen of Melody, Nightingales of India and Voice of the Millennials.
I would like to request all the members of this House to stand up and pay 30 seconds of condolence to tribute her.
Over.
Honorable Prime Minister, please introduce the new ministry of this House.
Honorable Speaker ma'am, I have pleasure to introduce you to my new colleagues and to you through the House, Mr. Rohit Mukherjee, the new Minister of Railway. And Mr. Arindam Das, he is taking the charge of Ministry of Water Resources.
It's time for some question-answer round. Question number 101 will be asked by, from the opposition, Mr. Devdipto Ghosh.
Honorable Speaker ma'am, my question is, will the Ministry of Finance be pleased to state whether the foreign exchange reserves of India have fallen significantly in last few months? If so, the details and reasons thereof.
Ministry of Finance, would you like to say something about this?
Honorable Speaker ma'am, the foreign exchange reserves of the country that stood at USD 635.363 billion as on September 30, 2021 have declined to USD 619.678 billion as on March 18, 2022. The change in the foreign exchange is due to the revaluation of foreign currency assets to reflect prevailing global market prices and due to market intervention operation of Reserve Bank of India to smoothen exchange rate volatility.
Any question further?
Honorable Speaker ma'am, I would like to extend my question to Finance Minister whether the country's reserve position with the International Monetary Fund has also decreased in recent days. If so, the details therefore and the details therefore.
Ministry of Finance, do you have any answer for this?
Special drawing rights are the international reserve assets created by International Monetary Fund and are allocated to its member in proportion to the member quota at IMF. SD rupees are held by Government of India and are shown as part of the foreign exchange reserves. The SDR holdings are on September 30, 2021 stood at USD 19.304 billion, which declined moderately as on March 18, 2022 to USD 18.865 million. The SDR holdings have decreased due to the valuation losses on account of SDR to USD rate.
Question number 102 will be asked by Mr. Protapaditya Mondal from the opposition.
Honorable Speaker ma'am, my question for the Ministry of External Affairs is, will she be pleased to say whether the government has succeeded in preventing people from going abroad using fake or forged passport? If isn't, the reasons thereafter.
Ministry of External Affairs, can you answer this?
Honorable Speaker ma'am, the immigration officials detect fake passports made through photo substitution, date of birth tampering, others such as forgery in visa. Such cases that have been detected during the past 4 years are 1,035 in 2019, 190 in 2020 and 299 in 2021. Cases under the relevant section of laws are registered and investigated by the state police authorities, who initiate a legal action against such agents under appropriate law.
Is there any question further for the Ministry of External Affairs?
Honorable Speaker Madam, my question to the External Affairs Minister, whether the government have any scheme for the welfare of Indian students studying in abroad universities. If so, the reasons therefore.
Ministry of External Affairs, would you like to say something on this?
Honorable Speaker ma'am, Welfare of Indians abroad, including students, is top priority of Government of India. Madad portal extends helping hand to all Indians abroad. It enables Indian students abroad to register voluntarily and provide data about the constitutions, locations, duration of courses, etc. besides creating a database by Indian students going abroad. Separately, the Indian Center for Migration, a think tank of the ministry, has prepared a student handbook of studying abroad, providing basic information to students intending to study overseas. In addition, the ambassadors and senior officials in missions abroad visit local universities and colleges to meet Indian students and address their issues. Missions also conduct open houses for students and NRIs to meet the mission head and other officers. In any case of distress, students are also assisted under Indian Community Welfare Fund.
Question number 103 from the opposition.
ऑनरेबल स्पीकर मैम, क्या महिला और बाल विकास मंत्री ये बताने की कृपा करेंगे कि क्या सरकार के पास विशेषकर दिल्ली से ही देश में ऐसे भीख मांगने वाले बच्चों की संख्या के संबंध में कोई डेटा विवरण है जो देखभाल और संरक्षण जरूरी बच्चों की श्रेणी में आता है, और यदि है तो तत्संबंधित डेटा क्या है?
शिल्पा जी, आप कुछ बताना चाहेंगे इसके बारे में?
ऑनरेबल स्पीकर मैडम, राष्ट्रीय बाल अधिकार संरक्षण आयोग द्वारा सूचित किए गए अनुसार माननीय उच्चतम न्यायालय के निर्देशों के अनुसार दिल्ली में साहित्य राज्य क्षेत्रों के बेघर स्थित पहचाने गए बच्चों का डाटा बाल स्वराज्य पोर्टल पर अपलोड किए गए हैं, जिसमें भीख मांगने वालों बच्चों का डाटा भी शामिल है। दिनांक 15/3/2022 तक पोर्टल पर अपलोड किए गए आंकड़ों के अनुसार भीख मांगने वालों बच्चों की संख्या 3808 है, जिनमें 355 बच्चे दिल्ली के हैं।
Is there any question for Women and Child Development Ministry?
ऑनरेबल स्पीकर मैम, क्या महिला और बाल विकास मंत्री ये बताने की कृपा करेंगी इन बच्चों की संस्थानिक एवं असंस्थानिक देखभाल करने हेतु सरकार द्वारा अपनाए गए उपाय का ब्यौरा क्या है, और दिल्ली में भीख मांगने वालों कितने बच्चों एवं उनकी स्थिति पर वैश्विक महामारी का क्या प्रभाव पड़ा है, तथा दिल्ली बाल अधिकार संरक्षण आयोग द्वारा ये संबंध में क्या प्रयास किया गया है?
शिल्पा जी, इसके बारे में आपका क्या राय है?
ऑनरेबल स्पीकर मैडम, मंत्रालय व संरक्षण सेवा योजना मिशन बात्सल्य नामक परियोजित स्कीम कार्यरत कर रहा है, जिसके तहत जरूरतमंद और कठिन परिस्थितियों में बच्चों के लिए सेवाएं प्रदान करने के लिए राज्य एवं संघ राज्य क्षेत्रों की सरकारों को सहायता भी प्रदान की जाती है। बच्चों को संस्थागत देखभाल प्रदान करने के लिए सीपीएम स्कीम के तहत उपयुक्त अनुपयुक्त शिक्षा भी प्रदान की जाती है। यहाँ ग्रामीण और शहरी दोनों तहत के बच्चों को कवर किया जाता है। सीपीएम स्कीम परियोजना पालन पोषण संबंधी देखभाल के साथ साथ कार्यक्रम के माध्यम से परिवार के आधार पर गैर संस्थानिक भी प्रदान की जाती है।
Honorable member of this house, I have to make an announcement. On my own behalf of the honorable members of the house, I have a great pleasure to extend our warm welcome to His Excellency Mr. Jacobson, Speaker of the US Parliament and honorable member of US Parliament's delegation who are on a visit to India as our honored guest. They are the honorable members of the delegation. First is Mr. Jensen, Miss Valentina, Miss Selena Diego. Please come on the stage and take your seats. Question number 104 will be asked by Ms. Shreya Das.
Honorable Speaker Ma'am, will the Minister of Home Affairs be pleased to state whether the Ministry has received any action plan draft regarding safety of women from the Ministry of Women and Child Development? If so, the details thereof along with the status disregard.
Honorable Minister of Home Affairs, can you answer this?
Honorable Speaker Ma'am, the Ministry of Women and Child Development consulted the Ministry of Home Affairs in preparation of a scheme with action plan therein for safety and security of women and for empowerment of women. The government has approved implementation of the same as an umbrella scheme Mission Shakti by the Ministry of Women and Child Development for safety and security of women and for empowerment of women. As per available information, Mission Shakti envisages a united citizen-centric lifestyle support for women through integrated care, safety, protection, rehabilitation and empowerment as they progress through various stages of their life. The scheme tenure is from 2021 to 2022 till 2025 to 2026.
Any question?
Honorable Speaker Ma'am, my question is the steps taken for making the draft of National Women Safety Policy and the time by which the same is likely to be started.
Would you like to say anything about this?
Honorable Speaker Ma'am, there is no such proposal under consideration.
Question number 105 will be asked by Mr. Sachin Mandal from the opposition.
Honorable Speaker Ma'am, will the Ministry of Defence be pleased to state whether the government has taken any step to develop cyber warfare capabilities? If so, the details thereof.
Ministry of Defence, would you like to say something?
Yes, Honorable Speaker Ma'am. Yes, government has that approved establishment of defence cyber agency under the aegis of Ministry of Defence. The agency is now fully functional to mitigate cyber threats. All the three services have established their respected cyber agency response teams. Furthermore, Government of India are formulating the National Cyber Security Strategy, which is the final stages of approval.
Next question.
Honorable Speaker Ma'am, whether the report has seen an instance of cyber welfare in the last 10 years, if so, the details thereof.
Ministry of Defence, can you give the details?
Honorable Speaker Ma'am, there have been repeated attempts by various cyber threats actors that target our various sectors. However, measures are being taken to detect the defer these threats. Adequate safeguards have been instituted in the form of cyber adults, physical checks and policy guidelines to ensure robust cyber positive of armed forces.
Now, the House will take up consideration of the Uniform Education Bill 2021. Education Minister, please.
Honorable Speaker Madam, the Universal Civil Code is gaining momentum. With it, this education bill. Some citizens have filed petition on Supreme Court seeking with uniform education system across the country. As the need of time and demands from people, our government have come up with some education bill for consideration in this House. It will promote fraternity, unity and national integration among students of different educational boards. Madam, the main clauses of these uniform bills are: 1. To promote and provide common educational curriculum for all students. 2. To make education parts of our union list, where central government has power to plan and execute the education policy and merge all education board into NCERT. 3. To have common board exam in this subject: social science, science, English and mathematics. Madam, I confide that all honorable members of this House will welcome this bill wholeheartedly and
help us to achieve one education, one nation policy. With this word, I move the bill into consideration. Thank you, ma'am.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, I rise to oppose the bill. I don't understand whether the Education Minister is aware about the diversity in India or not. We are united by spirits, but divided by language, region, religion, tradition, culture, and development. I think our minister is living in dreams. How can the minister think that a common standard of education is implemented across India in tribal, rural, town, and metro cities? Because we are far behind with the development in many regions to provide common standard of education similar to metro cities.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, when we have single constitution, single citizenship, common all India services, etc., then why not uniform education system? Speaker, Madam, it is united India and it's time to raise the voice against the unjust British rule. When all states follow the design set by the British, then why can't we have the common education all over India for all children of our mother country? Thus, I rise to support the bill.
Now the question is that the bill is to provide to have uniformity in education in India and for matters connected therewith or incidental there to be taken into consideration. Those who are in favor will say aye. Aye. Those against will say no. I think the ayes have it, ayes have it, ayes have it. Next clause by clause consideration. Now question is that 2 to 8 stand part of the bill. Those who in favor will say aye. Aye. Those against will say no. I think the ayes have it, ayes have it, ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Clause 2 to 8 stand part of the bill. Now the question is that clause 1, the enacting formula and the title stand part of the bill. Those who are in favor will say aye. Aye. And those who against will say no. I think the ayes have it, ayes have it, ayes have it. Education Minister, please proceed further.
Speaker, Madam, I move the bill be passed.
Motion moved that the bill is passed. Those who are in favor will say aye. Aye. Those who against will say no. I think the ayes have it, ayes have it, ayes have it. Motion moved. The next meet will be adjourned tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. Thank you.